we're gonna have to plan a couple of days in advance. You can't get up on Thanksgiving morning and say, I'm gonna cook a turkey this week. You can't do Miss Rossi's turkey on Thanksgiving morning. Let's say you went, oh, I did this all week. Oh, it's Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Thanksgiving's in 2 days. You can take it out and you can put it in the sink or in a big pan or in the ice chest with a little bit of ice just to keep it cool. And you can thaw it in about 8 hours. As I get my pan ready. And you can see what I did is I lined that pan. It's a little wasteful, but I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver, okay? You can cook a turkey in this. If you want to go to the store, if you don't have a good pan, you can cook it in a shallow pan. I like this one because it has a lid, and also because it was my grandma's. It's been in our family forever, and it's cheap. Like, you can still buy this kind of bakeware, and it's cheap. You can also use like a lasagna pan, you know, like you could cook a cake in it, but it has a little bit thicker sides. You need something a little bit tall. But these are good, and they're like, you know, a couple bucks maybe at the store, maybe even less. This is because what we don't want is for the turkey to sit in its own juice, okay? We want it to be up, and then the drippings come off of it. A lot of times people will use the drippings for gravy. I don't do that. I buy gravy. And when you do the turkey the way I'm going to show you, it might be a little too salty to use the drippings, but you want the turkey to sit up. So I'm going to put this in here where I'm going to cook the turkey. But let me show you what to do if you don't have a rack. Okay? What you would do, make a coil, like a long coil, go back and forth, just so your turkey has something to sit on and the drippings can come down from it, okay? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna brine a turkey. Do you know what that means? Do you know what brining is? So we wanna bring moisture into it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna soak it in a salt water or a brine solution, and that's gonna draw the moisture into the cells of the meat. And then we're going to do everything when we cook to keep that moisture in. We don't want the moisture to go out. Okay, so I think some of you heard me say the other day, we're not going to stuff our turkey because we want to cook it the least amount of time possible. We don't want it to get dry. Ready. The next thing I do is I get the brine ready and the place where I'm going to brine the turkey. So I brine my turkey in an ice chest. You could use a big pot. It's better if the turkey lays flat, but if you don't have anything like that, you can put the turkey upright in a big pozole pan. You can put it in a bag. I don't know, you could probably get away with a trash bag, but it needs to be heavy duty. This is really, really heavy duty. It needs to be totally airtight because there's going to be moisture in it. So I personally like the idea of a big pan or an ice chest. Now, if you get it too big, you're going to have to use way too much fluid. Okay, so you want it just the right size. And you want the turkey to be able to be completely submerged. 2 cups. That's a lot of salt. Like, can you imagine putting that like in a cake or something? Okay, go all the way up to the top red line. And when you measure that kind of a liquid measure, if you have this kind with the lines, you actually are supposed to get down eye level to the line, because if you stand up, it'll be wrong. And it truly doesn't have to be exact, but I just want you to know. So dump it in there. I use this for mixing because it's really easy for me to pour in and out. Okay, and we're going to use this. We need 2/3 of a cup of sugar. And I think, well, you could actually use these dry measures over here. So this is 1/3 of a cup. So you put 2 of those in here. Now we're going to give, you can close that up, and we're going to give it to Kally and fill that up just about to here with hot water, hot tap water. You're gonna have to stir and get all that salt mixed up. Why do you think I have those in there?
So you don't have to push so much water in.
That's right, because I want that water salty, but my turkey, when I have a really big, like 20+ pound turkey, it'll take up most of the space. But today we're using smaller turkeys, and so I have to displace the water. So I fill up these baggies with water or ice, and I put them down in here, and I put these down in here, and it makes the water level rise. Okay, so I told you, when you can cheat for a good reason, do it. That way I don't have to fill it all up. Okay, so how are we doing? Is that all dissolved?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna pretend like we're gonna brine this turkey. And we're not gonna brine it, we don't have time probably. Okay, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour that in here.
You want me to toss the thing there?
Pour it all in. Okay, then what I want you to do is just open up for good measure. Open up one of these cans. Here, you can use the chicken broth one. No, use the vegetable broth. And remember, normally I would use about 10 of those. Okay? But you can mix up your own with one of these. Okay? And like I said, sometimes you have to yank.
Okay.
Do you feel something in there?
Chicken do have it sometimes, no?
Sometimes it's in a little bag. A little frozen there. That's the neck. Okay, that might be all that's in there. Do you feel anything else? Oh, that's a little fat from the tail. They gave us lots of stuff.
I don't know.
Okay, now try in here. This is the neck part. So this is the part they cut off the turkey. His head was on that. Okay, you're gonna have to lift up the little flap of skin.
It's okay.
That's where the head was.
And there's more in there?
There should be. I mean, every company does it a little bit different. So that should be it. But it's kind of like a placenta. It is. Okay, so what we're gonna do? I'll just do this, and then I'm gonna have. This is like so disgusting, and a lot of people will cook this. So it's the liver, the gizzard, and the heart. And a lot of people stick it inside of their turkey so that the turkey juices drip into it. We would put the turkey in there, and then I would put how much ice in?
A small bag?
Yeah, a small bag. And when I say a small bag, I think we have one in here, right? No, that's not. These are some we bagged up. But it's about twice as big as this, like you buy it from the grocery store, right? That's 8 pounds. And of course, you don't have to buy it from the grocery store, you can make it. But you put the turkey in, breast side up. Okay, so there's a bottom side, that's the back side of the turkey. The front side of the turkey is called the breast. And a lot of people stick it inside of their turkey so that the turkey juices drip into it. Okay, just so you know, the dark meat is where there's more work, where there's more muscles active, where there's more blood flow. So the legs get the turkey around, right? So those are dark meat. The breast, this is the breast side, where the wings point. Okay, so the turkey's going like this. Hi. Okay, so this is the breast side, and it's white meat because it doesn't have to work too hard. And the wings on the turkey, these turkeys that we get, they don't fly. They're just sitting in a cage somewhere waiting for Thanksgiving Day. Bye. Okay, so this is dark meat, and this takes longer to cook. So what happens with most turkeys is this part is already done, and then they have to wait for this part to get done. So that's why the turkey has to take longer to cook, and it dries out. So we're gonna cheat, okay? Because some cheating is good. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna make a little shield. And when we have our real oven at home, You can put your oven all the way up to 500 degrees, and at this point in the game, that's what you want to do. Preheat the oven to 500 degrees. If for some reason your oven is old and it doesn't go up to 500, go as high as it'll go, 480, 475, okay? Make sure, you know, the racks in your oven, make sure you, before you heat it, put the bottom rack, take all the other racks out. You need all the space, right? Because the turkey's tall. Take all the racks out except for one, it's on the bottom. Turn the oven up to 500 or as high as it will go. Then, before we do anything else, we're gonna make a little shield for our turkey because we are gonna protect the breast from getting, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cover up everything but the legs. And why am I doing that now? Because when my turkey's hot, I don't have to fuss with it. So, do you see? Can everybody see? The legs are sticking out. The breast is covered. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna put it in the turkey's closet. He's gonna wear it later, okay? Just stay right there. Now, there's actually a lot of science in cooking. When we make our turkey, we want the skin to get really golden brown. We don't want it to burn. And what we want, there's fat under the skin. We want the fat to get hot enough to cook the skin from underneath, and then we're gonna cover it up and just let the legs get done. So I'm gonna ask Kally to take the butter. I'll start with this one and then use this as extra. We're gonna leave our butter out so that it gets cold, so that it gets warm, so that it's not cold, so that we can work with it. What I want you to do is scoop this up and put it in your hands and get it nice and pliable. And then you're gonna massage that turkey everywhere where you can see skin. We open up the oven and the turkey is gorgeous. It's brown, it's beautiful, but it's not cooked, okay? So now what we do is we take it out, pretend like this is my oven, I take it out, and I've got a brown turkey, it's really hot, so I have to be careful. Now here's what I do. It's the turkey thermometer. This one is like an electronic one, and what I can do, you can also get some that you just stick in at the end, but these are not very expensive at Target or Walmart. Maybe $7. You may say, I don't want to do that, and that's okay, but your turkey will be better with this. So what you do is we're going to set it for 160. That means I want the inside meat to reach 160. Set it for 160, and remember, right now, you got to use your imagination. This is a brown turkey, okay? It looks like this one now, okay?
Wow.
We're gonna put our shield over it because this is where we're really gonna cook it. So Kally, go ahead and put that over. Now that your hands are all nice and clean. Spit it down there. Make sure that those wingtips get covered. You don't want them poking out because they'll burn. This little guy right here, sometimes it's plastic, and do you see that? Sometimes it's plastic, sometimes it's metal. It's to hold the legs together because otherwise they'd be like this. Okay, so you just leave that on. Even if it's plastic, you just do. I have to put it in the thickest part of the breast because that's where I want the temperature to read. Okay, so you want to do this? You're going to poke it in kind of at an angle like this. You don't want to hit any bone, so just poke it in right through the foil. That's good. And then I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to put it in my oven, and on my oven, I have like a little handle that I can rest this on. My oven doesn't take a magnet because it's a different kind of metal, but this one has a magnet so you can just put it on the outside if it's the right kind of metal. Turkey about this size, they'll tell you, like on the directions and with that little thermometer that came with the turkey, they'll tell you 20 pounds per minute. That will give you a dry turkey. But the way that we cook it and that you get it to the temperature, a turkey that size, you can cook the rest of the way in about an hour to an hour and a half. Okay? So when it gets to 160, you have to take it out, and then this is the step you have to have. You have to let it rest in the pan with the lid on for at least 30 minutes. Who can tell me why?
The moisture
The
stays in
moisture?
there.
Right, because if I cut it right now, well, in real life, if that was hot, if I cut it, all the juice is hot and it's gonna come out. So we wanna keep it in there. We want that flavor absorbed into the meat. So you have to allow time for that. And then you have to allow time to slice it up. And then some dark
Figaro, son qua? Ehi, Figaro! Son qua, Figaro là, Figaro qua, Figaro là, Figaro su, Figaro giù,